in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion.
Hello everybody, welcome to Poetry in Motion Sunday. I'm Craig Lewis and I'm here with new poetry for you, poetry lovers. I just want to take the time to thank you all for those of you who've commented on recent videos, previous videos, and also hit me up on the inbox to let me know how you're feeling about my poetry. It really does mean a lot to me, and it encourages me to keep on writing great poetry. So thank you. Thank you to my new subscribers and to those of you who've also shared videos of mine. Thank you very much. You're appreciated. For those of you who aren't yet subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate the support. So just hit the subscribe button just beneath the video there. Those of you on Instagram, there will be a link to copy and paste into YouTube if you would also like to subscribe. Thank you very much. So today we're going to do things a little bit different. I've decided to read you 3 poems instead of 2. And there's also a bit of exciting news I will reveal towards the end of this video, so stay tuned. So kicking off with poem number 1, this one is called When the Tears Produce a River. It's coming from the aspect of coping mechanisms and how we each differ to how we choose to cope in situations. So yeah, when the tears produce a river. The anticlimax of a hoax wrapped in a sheet of jokes serves purpose to he who quotes that was entertaining. But to the sincere kind in need of sense of humor training, for him it's hard to crack a smile, thus inside he's straining. Like an infant constipated, dominated by the tears. A pain that gets more bearing, one would say, along the years. A pain some will result to drown inside the stronger beers like Brewdog. Amongst us all we hold divisions, thus the coping mechanisms are known to differ. Some are known to build a bridge when tears produce a river. For some the solution's the herb inside a Rizzler bigger than the average size penis of the man she rides, thus closes eyes to fantasize the one that she desires. While the Beyoncés and Mariahs don't appear to be so fussed, with the discipline of a Catholic nun who doesn't appear to lust. Amongst us all we hold divisions, thus the coping mechanisms are known to differ. Some are known to build a bridge when tears produce a river. The Joker from the movie's known to laugh when he gets nervous. Some jokers' faces are not painted and struggle to find purpose. Thus a simple life they choose in Mackie D's flipping the burgers, while one gets out the bed each day to investigate the murders. Amongst us all we hold divisions, thus the coping mechanisms are known to differ. Some are known to build a bridge when tears produce a river. So that's that one. And hope you got something from that one. The thing I like about poetry is the fact that it gives you, as a creator, the creative field to create a reflection of oneself, which makes it connect to people. It makes it universal as, dealing with the human condition. So yes, so moving on to my second poem. This one is called The Rule of Nature. And what inspired this poem was taking a look at the different auras we carry about us and the energies that we put out and often receive back. Kind of like a chain reaction. So yeah, so this is reflecting on that aspect. It's called The Rule of Nature. There's a woman licking her wounds, feeling the world is against her. Thus so often she listens to tunes of such a woeful nature. One would assume she knows not so that she's a creator. 'Cause what one thinks they become, thus the rules of nature. If you're feeling up and down, step out of the elevator. Train oneself to jot things down on pen and paper. Make a list of short-term goals to smash, then in good time you'll have the knack to manifest the big ones later. 'Cause what one thinks they become, thus the rule of nature. There's a man sat down in retrospect, to 35 he's yet to get. His hairs have greyed, he gets so stressed, thus finds it hard to focus. Divorce number 2, he's rejoined the queue of single until further notice. If one would refocus on the change he's trying to see, he'd maybe take command, thus tell himself the change is me, and thus commit as a creator, because what one thinks they become, thus the rules of nature. The woman known for licking wounds now sings each day a different tune. It's gained a spring in her step. The colours in her living room she's changed to much effect. More bright and more appealing, love for self her constant feeling. She's found her thread, now life has meaning. She carries an aura greater, because what one thinks they become, thus the rule of nature. Moving on to poem number 3. This one's called Bling Is Not Sexy If It's Barely Affordable. And basically this poem was inspired from the angle of a person that values looking cool more than the priorities around the household, especially as a family person. So yeah, bling is not sexy if it's barely affordable. Bling is not sexy if it's barely affordable. Yet he'd rob Peter and skip paying Paul so he could order more, for the sake of keeping icy like the autumn fall, likely forsaking the birthday of his kid that he'd ought to spoil. The milk's hurdled in the fridge, the bailiffs are at the door. The relationship is drawing nigh, she said she can't take no more. He's 10 years her elder, and yet the least mature. He wears more jewelry than she does. Why make a baby fool? How is he broke today and just got paid the day before? He knew the bills were overdue and threw his wages at the jewelry store. Did he not know his girl's approval he's unlikely to gain? Did he not consider that a week's rent was the price of his chain? Methinks a peanut really is the size of his brain. Hence from selfishness he should try and refrain. And you'd agree if you did ever see the ice on his chain. His priorities he skipped just to order more. Bling is not sexy if it's barely affordable. So there we have it. That's the 3 poems from me for this week. So moving on to the news that I wanted to share for those who have been enjoying my poetry. I've decided to do a Valentine's special on Valentine's Day. So stay tuned for that. Again, if you would like to be notified when the show is posted, remember to subscribe to the channel. Usually I tag those who've been liking previous episodes, so you won't miss it. But yeah, feel free to share the news. So until next time, take care.
Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday.